Let's get to the biggest race of the night, the race for president. It has been extremely tight now for months.
And really now it's up to voters to decide whether it'll be Vice President Harris or former President Donald Trump in the White House for the next 4 years. The former president voted this afternoon in West Palm Beach, Florida, and that's where we will watch, or he will watch, the results come in. Eli Rosenberg has more from West Palm Beach.
All right, it is here, Election Day, and the former President Donald Trump, is back here in the West Palm Beach area. He arrived early this morning after that really late night rally in Michigan. He talked with us just a few minutes ago. Former President Donald Trump, joined by his wife, voting this morning. Trump really pushing the pedal to the metal until the final moments. 4 rallies, 3 states yesterday, North Carolina, 2 in Pennsylvania, and that 1 in Michigan. And here he is just a few minutes ago after voting.
Look, I ran a great campaign. I think it was maybe the best of the 3. We did great in the first one. We did much better in the second one, but something happened. And this was the best. I would say this was the best campaign we ran.
All right, and the former president also thanking supporters after voting. He's back at Mar-a-Lago right now. That is where he's going to be watching all the results come in. There is a watch party and rally planned at the convention center under heavy security scheduled for later tonight. In West Palm Beach, Florida, Eli Rosenberg, NBC 10 Boston.
Meanwhile, Vice President Kamala Harris will watch the votes come in tonight at her alma mater, Howard University in Washington. Our political reporter Matt Pritchard has more on that from D.C.
We are just hours away from Kamala Harris traveling here to Howard University in Washington, D.C., her alma mater, where she will have her own watch party here on election night and hope that she may get a chance to come out and have a victory speech by night's end. Of course, we know that votes will be counted at different paces all across the country. When will we know? No one really knows, but we know that Kamala Harris yesterday spent her time in Pennsylvania, and that really makes a lot of sense for this campaign, knowing full well that if they have no other surprises, they're able to carry Wisconsin and Michigan. It could all come down to Pennsylvania, which could push her to that 270 electoral vote plateau. So we will be tracking all of this for you throughout the night, starting live on NBC 10 Boston at 4 o'clock, running throughout the evening and perhaps into the early morning. At Howard University, Matt Pritchard, NBC 10 Boston.
All right, everyone, we have got you covered from every possible angle. With that, our political commentator Sue O'Connell is here with us right now. Here we go, Sue.
Here we go.
This is it. The election is all but over, with the exception of, what do you got, 6 hours here and some voting and counting left to do here. Feels like a good moment for us right now to take a look at something that I feel like is sort of taking a backseat to the campaigns, that regardless of whoever your candidate is, right, whoever the candidate is that wins, what we are living in right now is truly history. Take a moment right now just to tell us more about that.
So, Colton, if former President Donald Trump wins this election, he will be only the 2nd president in U.S. history to win non-consecutive terms. The first and only at the moment was Grover Cleveland, who served 2 stints in the White House, 1885 to 1889, and then 1893 to 1897. Now, others have tried. You might have heard of Martin Van Buren and Millard Fillmore and Theodore Roosevelt, of course, but they failed. So Trump would also be the only president who is a convicted felon and civilly charged with sexual abuse. Now, if Vice President Kamala Harris wins, she obviously would be the first female president, the first black female president, the first Asian American president, and the first president with a first gentleman.
I believe
that we know of.
Yeah. Got some questions about Lincoln.
Yeah, there's a couple in there, too.
Yeah. I also believe, too, that she joins the rare club of men who have been elected president who have worked in all 3 branches of government.
Good point.
Well. Yeah. Listen,
I'm going to leave a Hershey's Kiss on your desk for that.
Whatever happens, Instructor Sue here.
Yeah.
You know, whoever wins, there's going to be people who are going to be sad. There's going to be people who are going to be angry. Certainly, there's a lot of passionate people on both sides of this. They're going to be, someone's going to be let down. They're going to be disheartened. You used to work on campaigns. You were an activist. How do you deal with that kind of loss?
That's a great question, Colton. So what you need to do is you just take a moment, you take a beat, and you tell yourself that change, progress, whatever it is that you're advocating for, it takes time and hard work. The way the other side wins, however you are deciding the other side, is when you give up and you give up because it's too hard and because you get disappointed. So if you're feeling bad tomorrow morning, you just got to take a beat, lick your wounds, and then roll up your sleeves and get back to work.
All right, Sue, as always, thank you.
You're welcome.
Security is very tight in our nation's capital as voters head to the polls. The January 6th insurrection is still fresh on the minds of those who witnessed the violence. Jericho Tran reports from D.C.
Well, Election Day is in full swing here at the nation's capital. We're at one of the polling sites just blocks away from the White House, the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Library. You can see people filing in and out of this polling site here behind me. We're told that there will be increased security at polling sites and ballot boxes. We spent the last couple days speaking to security experts, and they tell us that the likelihood of another January 6th repeat is not likely, but they do say that they're keeping an eye not on Election Day, but the days after.
It's not about just today, tomorrow, the day after. It's about this kind of slow burn over the coming weeks, months, building up in December into January.
And right now, Metropolitan Police say that they are not monitoring any credible threats. In Washington, D.C., Jericho Tran, NBC 10 Boston.
Thank you, Jericho. When the polls close, our live coverage begins. Starting tonight at 7, we will have live updates on local and national races as the results roll in. It will continue throughout the night on NECN and all of our streaming platforms.